Hello, everybody. I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing some bravery, a nice guy, and the worst creative decision in Toku history. But before all that, Buster, how have you been?
It's been a bit of a hard day, not just because it's kind of a people who follow my channel will know. There was a thing that happened.
It's been a hard day's night. You've been working like a dog.
It's I don't know how to explain it. It just without like okay, I'll just say it. It was Chris's birthday today. Like he was a good friend of mine. So,
yeah. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, it's fine. It just the way we've been celebrating his life. It's a bit hard, but it's like I hope he's happy up there. So
Yeah. All right. Well, as long as you're getting through.
Yeah, I'm getting through fine. It's just been on my mind. So
Fair enough.
How are you?
I'm okay. It's been a bit of an odd week. I've been trying to take some more time for myself, and that means I've gotten behind on a couple different things, but I'm not like super ticked off about it. And, I don't know. Today was just kind of an okay work day, not a whole lot going on, but, I got home, I watched the episodes, and now I'm here.
Yeah. Very excited.
You know what people can do to keep me here?
What?
They can support the show. Everybody like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell in order to enable notifications so that you know when all of our shows come out. Also follow us on social media. We got a Twitter, it's at the Modular Media. We got a Blue Sky, it's at modularmedia.bsky.social. And we got a Tumblr, which is at Modular Media. So, with all that plugging and tugging out of the way, you want to get into the news?
Hell yeah.
All right. First and foremost, wanted to make sure we get this right up top so nobody misses it. Superhero Time is going to be taking the week off on November 5th because TB Asahi is broadcasting, I think it's a triathlon?
Yeah, it's like Japan University Eken Games. So yeah, it's something like that.
Yes, it's basically golf gum. So find something else to do if your Sunday evening if you're a Western Toku fan.
Yeah, like catching up on your backlog.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to do that, or do we want to like try and watch a movie or something?
Probably a movie. Probably just we'll figure out a movie to watch. That will be for future us to decide.
Yeah.
Maybe a newer Toku movie will already be subbed that week. We'll see.
Maybe.
Sometimes that happens.
But hey, speaking of newer stuff, Bandai announced that they're doing the thing that they've been doing for recent belts, and they're making adult-sized straps for the Revice belt. So if you bought a Revice belt and you want some big boy straps so you can actually wear it with your fat American ass, go to Premium Bandai and pre-order that shit.
Boring.
Yeah. Hey, Godzilla 2000 is getting a Fathom Event.
Okay, this is actually a Godzilla film I've seen, and I'm very mixed on it because I think it's a bit forgettable, but the last act goes hard, and it's just a well-constructed movie from like a special effects. So I might go to this just to see the ending on the big screen because this has one of the best like final acts to a Godzilla movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've not seen it myself, but I've heard really good things about the effects in this. It's not my favorite Godzilla design, but I do really dig the spiky-ass 2000 design. Only problem is there's only going to be one showing, and it's going to be on a Wednesday night, right when I usually get off work. So it's pretty dicey if I'll actually go to this or not.
Yeah. Hey, go check out Godzilla 2000 eventually. It's a good movie, even if I'm not the biggest fan of it.
Yeah, and if you're in Japan, go see Shin Godzilla again, because they're going to be doing a limited 2-night showing of Shin Godzilla in black and white as a sort of special lead up to Godzilla Minus One promotional event, which I don't know, is kind of cool. I know there's some people who really like seeing modern movies in black and white. For me, it just always kind of looks weird. Like, I remember back when they did the run of Logan in black and white, I went and saw that, and it just felt like there was this weird tonal juxtaposition to everything that was actually going on in the movie.
Yeah, like, these movies, they're designed with color in mind, so taking away the color just to be like, oh, it's like the old thing, just kind of feels a bit gimmicky.
It's artistic, and I'm like, if it was artistic, it would have been part of Hideaki Anno's original vision.
Yeah, it just feels like, hey, 54, you like 54?
Does color scare you? Do you think that's witchcraft, old people? Come watch this one.
Yeah, they'd be horrified by CGI Godzilla.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, getting back to Bandai for just a second. This was actually announced, I think, right before last week's TWIT came out. But it's happening. They teased it a few weeks back, and we were really curious as to how it was actually going to work out. And didn't work out in the best way, in my opinion, because the SH Figuarts Desire Grand Prix Entry Rise set is now up for pre-order, and what this basically is it's a box of heads. This is, you can get a, like, different head and driver piece for each of the side character riders, as well as, Rising Sword, whatever it is. You can get like the first form of that heads for Geats, Buffa, and Tycoon in this set as well. But it doesn't come with any bodies. You have to have already bought the entry form of Geats. And
that's lame as shit.
Yeah, it's probably the scummiest thing I've seen Bandai pull in a while. Now they have also like said, oh, we're also going to be throwing in as a special pre-order bonus if you want to pre-order the next round of Entry Rise Geats and this, you can get the
mind control head.
Yeah, the mind control head of just like a blank rider. So if you want to army build those, here's your chance to do that. But it's still like, I did the calculations the other day, and let me see if I can pull it up in my phone's history real quick. Because to buy enough bodies to make every character you get in this set, it was some kind of
it's
ridiculous.
Like 500.
It's $980 USD, and that's not counting like shipping and sales tax. So
yeah, that's dumb as hell.
That.
Yeah.
Could have been cool. Could have been really neat if you just released an entry rise form for every character, but nope, Bandai gonna Bandai.
It also doesn't help that one of the heads is Groovy, who only showed up in one episode, in one scene.
Yeah. Man,
Why?
fucking Groovy's getting a Figuart. My fucking boys, Ben and John, still don't have suits. I'm still pissed about that. Where's my goddamn TFCC's mini special?
Well, speaking of God.
Hey, we got the track list for the Godzilla Minus One original soundtrack, which is also going to go for sale in Japan on November 4. So,
when the movie comes
American
out.
fans, we're going to be able to hear the music for this movie well in advance of actually seeing the movie. And it seems like they are going for a pretty artistic angle here, because every track except for the actual Godzilla theme, which there are 3 different versions of, is just a single word, and it's an emotion. So I think this might be a pretty good soundtrack. Just guessing here.
Oh, I mean, Godzilla's OSTs are really good. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know this composer's work, but I mean, I am kind of the assumption that just everything involved with this movie is going to be pretty good, because all the trailers have looked pretty good.
Yeah, I even got like someone in my college. I was just telling them about it because like we were in film art class. It was just like, yeah, I'm excited for the new Godzilla movie, and I showed him it. He was like, oh, that's sick, and it's
hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, spreading the good word of kaiju. As for not good words,
yeah, you want to take this next one, because I only kind of know what's going on.
All right, the DOGENGERS are doing their stage show stuff as usual, and as a quote-unquote joke, they are doing a show with ChatGPT, an AI generation program. Now, granted, this is a one-off joke, and like they're playing into the dog part.
And it's not like this is going to be filmed and released anywhere.
To my knowledge.
But still, like, I don't know about Japanese culture, granted, but here in the West, we are well past the point of, like, is this okay? Is it not? Culture has pretty definitively shifted to, no, this is fucking stinky, get it out of here. So it's really upsetting to see this announcement from something that has been so cute and likable and off in its own little corner up till now.
Yeah, it's not optimal. Like, if as long as it translates to the next season of the show, then I'll be like, okay, it's a weird stain. It's like when Power Rangers did the non-fungible tokens or something. Just a weird stain. Everyone was doing it or some shit. I don't know. It's disheartening. Especially because they claim it as a joke, which is like that's arguably even worse because it's like if you're gonna do it as a joke, then you shouldn't do it at all. That's just a not funny joke for what is I consider to be a really funny show. You know.
Also, really makes me question what's his name, the creator guy's sense of humor. All of a sudden, I'm like, you were fairly funny, and then this comes up. You think this is a joke? This is a joke to you? What?
Yeah, just hey, we can't win them all.
Good thing we don't have an actual episode of the show to talk about this week.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would be very weird. But speaking of not weird things,
let's move on to something that's actually kind of exciting because the Dekaranger 20th anniversary logo has been found. I think on a shirt. I think this is a shirt somebody found on like the premium Bandai website.
We've seen
somewhere.
The 20th anniversary logo on the Morpher toy. But this is like the first thing of it with the Dekamaster. So it's like there's going to be a Dekamaster toy of some kind. Maybe a complete selection gigantic of his sword.
That or like a specific release of the Memorial Edition changer as his changer because it's different colors or...
Yeah, it would probably be an easy repaint.
Oh god, I'm not going to get my hopes up, but fucking SH Figuarts Dekamaster.
Oh boy. That would actually fit. That would actually be a good way to expand the line. To just
because like we don't talk about Power Rangers here, but like Lightning Collection Shadow Ranger, I love it because it's an articulated figure of that design, but it's a Wave 1 figure, and of all the figures in that line, it's the one that I think shows its age the most. The arms on that figure look really weird next to anything that's like a couple years older than it.
Yeah, and it didn't get the remastered treatment because it was only for MMPR, so it's like getting the like Zenkaiger technology with Dekamaster, that would be really good because I love my Zenkaiger SH figure art. It is one of my favorite toys I own.
Again, not getting my hopes up. That's like tinfoil hat speculation on our part, but man, wouldn't it be neat?
Yeah, especially because they only do 6 like extra Rangers and Reds, so I think that would fit their mold.
Yeah, anyway, moving on to some actual official anniversary announcements. We got the official announcement of Kamen Rider Gaim's 10th anniversary project. They put out a poster with the logo, and it looks like somebody has Photoshop.
Yeah, well, like, Gaim looks weird because it feels like they pulled it from a detail of Heroes. And
I didn't notice that till now, but you're right.
Yeah, like Gaim and Baron specifically. Everyone else blends in well, but Gaim and Baron's new, like, final
Baron looks
form,
like he has a weird filter over him, actually.
That's what I mean. The detail of Heroes is, like, often in shadow, and there's, like, similar shadows with him and Gaim. So it's, like... I don't know, like, it's not the best poster, but it's still neat that they're like, hey, here's, like, an updated cast list, all like the original poster. And it was kind of fun on Twitter, which is something I don't say, where everyone was talking about, like, their Gaim memories. Because actually, I do, like, even if I'm not the biggest fan of the show, I do have, like, I respect for Gaim, because seeing that Tokuger crossover was, like, how I kind of discovered Kamen Rider outside of Dragon Knight, you know?
Fair enough, and like that Tokuger crossover, I still take up for it to this day as like that is the best Rider Sentai crossover there's ever been.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think Senki comes close for me, but like that Senki's more of like a general, like I feel like a general Toku celebration. But that's a whole other
and like
discussion.
As much as because I guess we're just doing Gaim nostalgia right now. As much as like I don't love Gaim looking back on it as a complete piece, I can't deny that, like, at the time, week to week, Gaim was a fucking amazing roller coaster journey I felt like I was on with a bunch of other people online.
Yeah, that was kind of me of, like, X8 and early build. Because those were the first shows I watched week, so...
Fair enough. I mean, X8 had some amazing moments as well, and built a really good complete piece. Yeah. I don't know. It's fucking whatever. They announced a Genesis driver as well. CSM Genesis Driver is officially happening.
We already had it as a CSM. I thought we already had this, but I guess we didn't.
Nope, they did the Sengoku driver and a couple Lockseed sets, but they didn't get to the Genesis driver probably because they knew the 10th anniversary was coming up and they needed stuff in the release.
Yeah.
I looked at this a little bit. It seems like it is the basic CSM treatment of it's slightly bigger to match the actual size of the prop. It's got updated LEDs, so when you do the transformation, it looks like the little bottle underneath where the Lockseed goes is actually filling with light liquid, which is a cool effect. The only thing I don't know about yet, because also just real quick, this is coming with all the Lockseeds associated with this belt. You're not going to have to buy anything extra, so we're probably not getting a complete style gigantic Sonic arrow. Sorry for the people who want that. And they're also including the kill switch, which was in one episode, if I remember correctly.
It was like a couple more than one. I remember like it being at least like in one arc.
Okay. And there's going to be 3 different ways you can get this. There's a buckle edition that is just the main belt piece. There's a energy Lockseed set if you just want all the Lockseeds for whatever reason. And there's a set that is the 2 together with the kill switch and the belt pieces. So just varying prices and all releasing at different times. But
I don't really see, like, this is already a collector's item. Why would you, like, overcomplicate the release of this? I don't know.
I don't know. It's a thing they've been doing recently. I guess for just people who are really into the doodads specifically, or just really want a display piece. My only thing with this is I watched through the whole, like, demonstration video with Takatora's actor, which he looked so confused during that. He looked like he had no idea what he was doing until they told him. But I sat through that whole thing, and I don't know when they started doing this, because I remember back in the days of like the original CSM Deca driver and the Kabuto Zectors and whatnot, they actually demoed actual production versions of the belt, and you could hear the sounds of like the plastic clicking together and whatnot as the sound effects were playing. In this one, all the sounds were dubbed over, which really annoyed me, because if you remember back when Gaim was coming out and you were watching toy reviews at that time, the original DX Genesis driver had this really annoying issue where the way the one lever pulls back into position is like a really loud wind-up motor that makes it hard to hear the transformation and attack sounds. And I was hoping they either fixed that or took it out for this version. And you straight up cannot tell in this demo video if they have or not, because the sounds are just dubbed over in post. And I was really annoyed by that. There's also, like, I can't find any information in the articles that are out for this about whether they did or not. So I'm really hoping they did, because otherwise a CSM release seems kind of pointless to me. That was the big issue with the original belt, and I hope they fixed it here. It's going to be kind of a wait for review situation, in my opinion.
Speaking of waiting.
Oh my gosh. So I don't know what to say anymore, because one second it seems like, oh, Garo might be coming back. Oh, Garo's not gonna fucking survive this. They have hedged their bets wrong. And now there's a fucking countdown on the Garo Project Twitter. They have made several different tweets, a bunch of which I'll have linked in the video description along with all the other news links, of the countdown timer from the show counting down from all 9s. And I believe currently
we're at 47.9.
Yeah, so in the next couple days we'll know what this is. In my opinion, it could be anything, considering the weird status the show has been in, or the franchise has been in for a long time. I know a lot of people keep saying it's probably going to be a new show. They hope it's a new show. But I'm not getting my hopes up, people.
I think it could be a merch drop, or just being like more details on the CSM, the CSG. Yeah, I'm so used to saying CSM, but CSG gigantic.
Yeah.
Oh my. I don't know what it
Hopefully
could be.
it's something cool. Hopefully. We'll find out next week.
Yeah, and it's like I hope it's a new show. I hope it's like a new show. Speaking of new stuff.
Hey, Kamen Rider Geats is going to be getting a new form in the upcoming
V-Cinema?
V-Cinema Next for the show. That's the one that's focusing on Buffa. Kamen Rider Doom Geats is a repaint of the final form in black and gold. And I know this is going to make some people mad, but I actually really like the way this looks. I think this actually might look better than the final form to me. I hope
I
this
just find
gets a
it interesting.
Figuarts.
I find it, it's gonna get a figure art. All V-Cinema forms get a figure art. They're literally designed to be figure arts. From what I noticed, it just like find it interesting that this is like the third repaint of the final form, like that we've
Yeah.
had. They
It's
really like
almost
that
like it's
final
a
form.
good ass suit.
It is a good suit. I just like my only thing is like the whiting. There's a bit of whiting on it, like
Hmm.
already. I don't know if
It's
that's
like some kind of
intentional.
it's like some kind of like gunmetal fading almost.
Yeah, I don't know if that's intentional or not, and I don't like quite love it. But like that's my like, it's still a nice look.
But
And
yeah,
we're getting a
and
new song for the movie.
yeah, I is this for the V Cinenext or is this for Geats X Gotchard?
It's for the V Cinenext because it has the because someone posted a preview and it's like the V Cinenext poster. So
Okay, yeah, Creators Players is coming soon to iTunes near you, I would presume.
yeah,
Uh
all the cast members plus Sarumi are singing it.
Yeah, so hopefully it's good. Also, there's been a lot of filming photos for the Gotchard and Geats crossover that have leaked out in the last couple of days, some of which show Chemi props that look like chibi-fied versions of the Geats riders.
Here's what I think. Freaking the villain of the movie, he like punches the Geats guys so hard that their powers turn into chemis, and then they have to go recollect them.
And then like the Gotchard riders turn into combos of the main four Geats characters.
Well, there's only like two Gotchard writers, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm hoping like either they've introduced another guy or Spanner has a combo belt by that time.
Yeah, I think might to get into Gotchard speculation. I hope slash think that Reen is gonna get a writer form by the end of this year.
Oh god, man, she's gotta. They're
Yeah.
putting too much work into her.
Yeah, I mean, if only because of how she's structured in the opening, right next to Spanner. So it's
Yeah.
like,
But our last thing here is a bit of a fun and wacky thing I caught while looking for news stories last night, which is that there's a Godzilla and Pokemon collab statue coming, and it's of Pikachu wearing a like Godzilla hoodie. That's just adorable.
yeah, it's good stuff. We don't really talk a lot about Pokemon on the show because it's not Tokusatsu, but I love me some Pokemon. So this is
Yeah.
good.
Now give me like a Torterra that's got Gigan arms. Make
Oh
that
man,
happen.
they got it. Torterra's basically just a kaiju, if Detective Pikachu is any indication.
Yeah, Torterra is one of my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah,
But yeah, this is coming out in March of next year, and it's going to be $100 So hope you got deep pockets for your cute statue.
yeah.
Anyway, episodes.
Episodes, yeah. Uh, Blazar, episode 13, Scarred Nocturne. This is the clip show episode, but it was a really
Yeah,
good one.
there's only like two details in this I really want to comment on, though. One of which is the obvious thing, which is we find out that there's a conspiracy theory going around about like Scarred having orchestrated the kaiju's, and the Scarred people themselves went and looked into that, and they're like, no, but there's a two of the key kaiju's from the show seem to have come from the same planet. So what's up with that?
Yeah, it's like, is the final boss gonna be a planet?
Obolus, it's Unicron! Also they use like a cool ass during the like big montage of Blazar action in this episode. They use like a really cool electric guitar version of the theme, an instrumental version that I've never heard in the show before, and I instantly heard that and I'm like, why hasn't that been in every episode? That sounds awesome.
Well, I do love like the bass Blazar theme where it's like the alien little boop boop boops, and it's just I've been listening to that a lot ever since they released that like on its own. And like I just like the conversational aspect of the thing where it's like, yeah, let's take a moment to just chill with our characters as they recap. Like it feels very organic, which kind of speaks to Blazar's character writing strengths.
Yeah, it's just kind of like an average afternoon in the workplace for these people.
Yeah, and it's nice to get like re-informations of like what the characters are striving for before we head into the crazy second half, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just nice little blazer, just nice little episode 13,
Yeah, not too shabby.
Yeah. Superhero time?
Sure.
Kamen Gotchard, Super A ranked and Twisted Star. That's episode 6. I don't know why I said it like that.
Too bad it's not Twisted Sister. I could have made all sorts of off-color jokes this week.
Oh my god, shut up. I thought you were gonna make puns.
Twisted Sister is a classic fucking punk rock band, I'll have you know.
Okay.
Actually, are they punk rock? I think they're hair metal, maybe.
Anyway, the episode. What did we think?
I actually really like this episode. This might be my favorite episode of Gotchard so far.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid plot. I love how at the beginning it's like you think it's gonna be one thing, but then they swerve you to another in terms of like what the villain's gonna be.
Yeah, you think it's gonna be a really lazy plot of the week, and it turns out to be like this really economical use of the main cast that kind of explores Spanner a little more than we have been lately. You get a little more eye into who he is and get to see him interact with characters in ways we haven't gotten so far.
Yeah, we get a bit of teamwork. Especially love the last writer where it's like Gotchard uses his rider kick to boost Spanner to do the finishing move, which was really cool.
That and I love that we're not even 10 episodes in and they've already used the bikes twice in this show. Holy crap.
Yeah, that honestly between the combo gimmick and like the very well use of bikes in the first half, kind of giving me build vibes, not gonna lie.
Little bit. Also, did you notice in that bike scene they like directly lifted a plot point from Zeto?
Which one?
When the chemis talk to each other and Hotaro just instantly goes, "Oh, I know where to go."
Ah, yeah, I need to rewatch Zeto. It's a really good film.
Yeah, Wagata.
Yeah. And the new burning gorilla form was cute. I like that.
Yeah, I wish it got a little bit more of a highlight because you just expect that when a new form is introduced. But it was a solid action scene, and there were a couple really good shots of it, and I just liked the like we're having teamwork without even noticing it aspect to that fight.
Yeah,
along with really digging Valvard's character. Like I've been kind of hot and cold on him lately, or I guess for the show so far, but I really dug him this episode where he is a total asshole, but he's the kind of asshole that you enjoy watching. Like when he shows Hotaro up in the cafe at the beginning, I'm like, I actually thought Hotaro's dish actually looked good for once, so I was a little annoyed at him that he did that. But he gives this great like shit-eating grin while everybody's eating his food. And then later he literally tells Kudo that she should smile more, like a total fucking incel nice guy. And I just had this giant smile on my face as I went, "Fuck you, Spanner."
Yeah. Well, like they do confirm that he doesn't have romantic feelings towards, at least in the sub I used, he doesn't like, it's like, oh, like the monster asks, what, save your lover? And he's like, she's not my lover, man.
Well, so he says she's not my lover, but I almost wonder if that's him saying, like, we're not in a relationship yet. I would like to be, but that's not going on. You misread things.
I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. We'll see as the things cooks. What else? Yeah, good episode. Just nice. So I like the villain, like, plot, especially when he was doing that freaking High School Musical, like, freaking...
Yeah, I got the same vibe!
Yeah, someone on Twitter made an edit of that with the song.
Oh my god.
I'll send it to you later. Like,
Yeah, good episode. Good episode, Gotchard.
Yeah, good episode. Yeah, Gotchard's been on the roll. And speaking of rolls...
let's roll into some bravery.
Yeah, Osawa Sentai King-Ohger episode 32, Dinosaur Encounter. I'm gonna be honest, folks. I kind of want to go back to Terra. It's a good episode. It's a good episode, but I'm like,
I didn't love it, but it was way better than it could have been. I'll give it that. like at first I was annoyed by it, but it's wholly appropriate for Kyoryuger that all the returning characters got sidelined for Prince. Like they get moments, but it is definitely the Prince show with the King-Ohgers as his supporting cast.
Yeah, especially because they freaking write in a thing where it's like they can't transform for the first part of this crossover.
Mm-hmm.
At least the King-Ohger's got like a good fight scene there.
Also, I'm really glad that they explained he's from the future and he's not like he's not like a big baby man, because I remember when it first got announced, I'm like, it's only been 10 years from the show. How quickly did Daigo and Ami get to it? But
a lot of timey-wimey shenanigans going on, it seems.
Enjoyed getting to see Luckyro and Canderella again, even though they didn't have a whole lot to do. It was weird. They like did all the training with Prince, and I was like, shouldn't Soji be doing that? He's his fucking sensei.
No,
What's
Soji
going on?
did. So Soji did too. I remember he said that line about like, yeah, I trained Prince, and it's like you gotta get better.
He has that line, and he has that line about the sword, but they never actually trained together. It's a little weird.
Maybe it was like actor availability thing.
Maybe. But one thing I really dug is that they actually remembered that Ian is an archaeologist. Because I fucking forgot that, and I was like, oh yeah! That was such a minor thing in Kyoryuger, but I'm glad they picked that ball up and ran with it for this episode. And they retconned in that the fucking Terrans are descendant from ancient humans who had some kind of backstory involving the original Kyoryugers.
Yeah, honestly, it was all the King-Ohger elements of the episode I really liked. Because I liked when Gira and Prince trained. I liked when Yama like refixed Prince's sword and like made it its own, which is a cool way to re-explain the repaint. And there's just a lot of things in this episode I mainly like because of the King-Ohger part. The Kyoryuger part's like, it's fine, I guess, you know? I mean, like Prince doing the dance. He's fine other than that. Okay,
so here's the big thing, I think, because I've seen this be hotly debated on the little bit of social media I caught this weekend. Prince's actor, yay or nay?
Mix. He needs a bit more oomph.
Yeah, I really don't like him. He seems like here's the thing. Koichi does a brilliant job with the action scenes in this episode, but during all the actual dialogue scenes, I can really feel him behind the camera going, "You don't sound like the actor who played Daigo enough. Play it more like he did." And this kid just can't get there.
Yeah, I feel like they should have played into like the original strengths of Prince rather than being like, "You're Daigo too," you know? I feel like that would have been more appealing. Maybe if the rumor is true and Prince does become a recurring cast member, they will do that. We'll see. I don't know anymore, man. I like the King. I just kind of like. I know everyone's like, yeah, real Sentai is back because the Kyoryuger are good and we're outside the volume. But I'm like, but I liked King-Ohger. We were doing so cool. We were doing some cool things, man.
Also, like, it's just weird for this podcast because, like, you're super into King-Ohger, and even though I'm not, I like King-Ohger. I don't love it. I also think Kyoryuger is incredibly mid. So I'm just like, well, this is happening.
Yeah, it feels like we're just waiting to get back to our regular scheduled program for these next 2 weeks.
It's nice that it actually feels like a part of King-Ohger's story, though.
Yeah,
I am glad they did that. They followed Ju-Ohger's example there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They did the Ju-Ohger thing where it's like, you get the crossover, but you're still, like, it's still part of the story, which is cool. But also, I don't know, man. I'm not, like, I like the action, but that's, like, I like the action, I like the King-Ohger bits. I love when Gira, like, does spars with Prince. That was one of my favorite scenes in the episode because that's a Gira thing. I like when Gira does the things.
Yeah, that scene was good. I really enjoyed the final action scene though, just because like seeing those face actors finally get some real choreography in. The fact that Koichi was able to get Himeno and Kaguragi's actors to do the shit they were doing in those really complicated, ornate outfits was super impressive.
Yeah, that must have been really sweaty after that.
Well, she's being sweaty earlier in the episode too.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, it's fine. Probably the weakest King-Ohger in a bit, though. Like, from, like, a storytelling level. Probably, like, the best from a visual perspective, but it's a crossover. Of course, it's gonna be flashy, you know? I don't know.
Well,
Old stuff and toys?
I didn't watch any old stuff this week again because I've just been my mind's been other places. I'm gonna try. I really want to just take a night at some point in the next couple weeks and just sit down and blast through the last of 1971. But I just haven't found that night yet. But for now, what have you been watching, Buster?
I finished Kamen Under Amazon. And it's a
Way.
kind of a complicated show, because the first half is really good, with the 10-faced demon guy. And then the second half happens, and it kind of becomes boring.
I mean, anytime
Sadly.
you say "and then the second half happens," I immediately get worried.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. I feel like this has the opposite problem with V3. Because V3, I thought, it's good for what it is. At, like, especially coming right off of 1971 in the first half. But the last half of V3 is really good. Especially when Riderman comes in. So it's like, what? It just feels
It's
like an
inverse V3?
inverse V3. Where it's like, oh, the first half with, like, Amazon's learning about humanity and English. Or Japanese, but to me it's English. You know what I mean? When Amazon's
Yeah.
learning about language and, like, all these cool things, and, like, he's, like, adapting, and he, like, has a really cool supporting cast, and he saves the Mole Beastman. The Mole Beastman is the best character in the show, because in my opinion, I really liked him. Also because I recognized, like, hey, that's where they got the concept for Mamoru from Amazon's. So
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought the Mole Beastman was like it's nice to pick up of, like, where Amazon's took influence, or what it
Man,
just
did you
decided.
know Mamoru got a Figuarts?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was just reminded of that the other day while I was looking at pictures of Figuarts releases, and I was like, holy shit, I want that.
Yeah, Mamoru's a good character.
Mhm.
And, like, the Mole Beastman and the original Amazon is a good character, and he got a really good final episode. But the actual finale kind of suffers the same problems as X's finale, where it just kind of happens, and all of a sudden it's revealed the final villain is actually the Ku Klux Klan, or, like, the Ku Klux Klan, like, looking guy.
Oh
Uh,
shit, the fucking the parent teacher association got on us. Quick, get the clan.
yeah. Oh yeah, I have to mention that the freaking I thought the I wouldn't notice that the parent teacher influenced. No, they influenced the show after 10-Faced Demon got defeated. Yeah, it becomes real, just kind of typical bland writer from there. And I just kind of got bored. I think I'm gonna take a break in between this and Stronger. I think I'm gonna go watch some other Toku, because I feel like going from, like, Showa to Showa to Showa, not the best idea, guys.
Fair enough, but even though I've not seen it myself, I have heard a ton of people who are more Showa experts than myself say that Stronger is the best Showa series.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. I've watched episodes of Stronger before, and they're my favorite Showa episodes. So I need to get on Stronger soon, but I'm just in case, so I can be in a better mental space.
The thing I used to always hear people parody back when I paid a lot more attention to the fandom is, even though Black is counted as Showa, it is like its own beast. And Showa
like
is a different format for most of its history, and they perfect that format with Stronger.
Yeah. And, like, they took a hiatus with, like, in between ZX and Black. So it's like, yeah. But yeah, it was a fine show. It was like a good 8, 7 out of 10. Better than X, not as good as V3 or 19.
Right.
That's my whole take on Amazon, and you'll see a more detailed take eventually when I release a video, because I guess we're at the end of the podcast, so I can plug my stuff. Hi, I'm Buster Corp. I do too many videos. I re-uploaded the AVGN
Too many videos?
movie.
Is that like too many games? Can I go to that show? Can I hang out and get an autograph from frickin' Sam Hyde?
Whatever that means. I re-uploaded the AVGN movie video. I released videos on Ultraman Geat and Rube. Please check those out. I'm really proud of those, so please check out the Ultraman stuff. I really like making Ultraman videos, but YouTube doesn't like when I make them. But soon we'll have a video on Kamen Under Amazon, and I also have videos on The Wonderful 101 and Fiona and Cake Plan, so stay tuned.
Julio. Well, I've got a YouTube channel where I post videos that do surprisingly well sometimes. You can find them over on youtube.com at The Vacuuminator. I'm also on social media. I got a Blue Sky. It's thevacuuminator.bsky.social. I got a Tumblr. It's thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. And I got an Instagram that's at _vacuuminator. But folks, that's going to do it for this week in Toku. We'll see you back here next week for whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.